What if the reason you're struggling financially isn't because you don't work hard enough, but because everything you were taught about money is wrong? Think about it. You spent years in school learning algebra and history, but nobody taught you how compound interest works. Your parents told you to get a good job and save money, but they never explained why the rich keep getting richer while everyone else stays stuck. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most of us weren't raised to build wealth. We were raised to be comfortable employees who don't ask too many questions about how money really works. But today we're flipping the script. I'm going to break down 9 money myths that have been holding you back, and more importantly, show you what successful people do instead. By the end of this video, you'll understand why your current approach isn't working and have a clear roadmap to start building real wealth. Myth number 1, make more money and you'll be rich. Your income is not your wealth. This might be the most dangerous myth of all because it feels so logical. We think if we just earn more, we'll automatically become wealthy. But here's what nobody tells you. There are people making 6 figures who are drowning in debt, and there are people earning modest salaries who are building serious wealth. Jaspreet Singh puts it perfectly. It's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. He also says, if you want to build wealth, you need to think like an investor, not like a consumer. Think of your finances like a bucket with holes in it. You can pour more water in all you want, but until you patch those holes, you'll never fill it up. Those holes are your spending habits, your lack of financial education, and your consumer mindset. Let me tell you about Sarah. She got promoted and her salary jumped from $50,000 to $75,000. Sounds like a success story, right? Wrong. She immediately upgraded her apartment, bought a new car, and started eating out constantly. Her additional income resulted in even more additional expenses. She was actually worse off financially despite the raise. Compare that to Mike, who got the same promotion. He kept living in his modest apartment for 2 more years while banking the extra income. He used that money as a down payment on a duplex, lived in one unit, and rented out the other. The rental income covered most of his mortgage, and he was building equity while someone else paid for his investment. Here's what you need to understand. Wealth isn't about what you earn. It's about the gap between what you earn and what you spend, multiplied by time and smart investment decisions. Practical strategies that actually work. Start tracking where every dollar goes for 1 month. Most people are shocked to discover they're spending hundreds on subscriptions they forgot about, takeout they don't remember ordering, and impulse purchases that add no value to their lives. Create what I call income categories. When you get a raise or bonus, don't just let it disappear into your lifestyle. Split it 3 ways. Half goes to investments and savings, 30% goes to improving your quality of life in meaningful ways, and 20% is pure fun money. This prevents complete lifestyle inflation while still rewarding your progress. The key insight: wealthy people increase their savings rate as their income grows. Poor people increase their spending rate, their income grows. Your 7-day challenge: track every single expense for the next week. Use your phone, a notebook, whatever works. At the end of the week, categorize everything into needs, wants, and wealth building. Most people discover their needs are actually wants, and their wealth building percentage is embarrassingly low. Reflection. Are you chasing a bigger paycheck while ignoring the fundamentals of wealth building? Myth number 2, saving alone will make you wealthy. Saving is survival, not strategy. Don't get me wrong, saving is important. You need an emergency fund. But if saving is your only wealth-building strategy, you're fighting inflation with a water gun while others are building wealth arsenals. Here's the math that changes everything. Money sitting in a savings account earning 1% while inflation runs at 3% means you're actually losing 2% of purchasing power every year. You're getting poorer by trying to be financially responsible. Alex Hormozy explains it simply: you can't save your way to wealth, you have to invest. He also emphasizes, poor people save money. Rich people invest money. Think of it like planting a garden. Saving is like storing seeds in a jar. They stay safe, but they never grow. Investing is like planting those seeds in good soil and watching them multiply over time. Let me share 2 different approaches to the same monthly amount. Jennifer puts $300 monthly in a savings account for 30 years. Lisa puts the same $300 monthly in index funds for 30 years. Jennifer ends up with around $180,000. Lisa ends up with over $700,000. Same effort, same discipline, dramatically different outcomes. But here's what's crucial. I'm not saying throw all your money into risky investments. Smart wealth building follows a specific order. The 3-bucket system that actually works. First bucket is your emergency fund, 3 to 6 months of expenses in a high-yield savings account. This isn't for wealth building, it's for life insurance. You want this money safe and accessible. Second bucket is your wealth building engine. This is where most of your investment dollars go. Index funds, target date funds, diversified portfolios that grow over time. This money you don't touch for decades. Third bucket is your opportunity fund. Money you can use for higher risk, higher reward investments when good opportunities appear. Real estate deals, business investments, individual stocks you've researched. The key is understanding what each bucket is for and not confusing their purposes. Your emergency fund isn't supposed to make you rich. It's supposed to keep you from going broke when life happens. Smart investing for regular people. Start with target date funds if you're overwhelmed. These automatically adjust your investment mix as you age, becoming more conservative as you approach retirement. It's investing on autopilot while you learn more. Use dollar cost averaging. Invest the same amount every month regardless of whether the market is up or down. When prices are high, you buy fewer shares. When prices are low, you buy more shares. Over time, this averages out your purchase price and removes emotion from investing. The most important rule: time in the market beats timing the market. Trying to buy low and sell high is how most people lose money. Buying consistently and holding for decades is how most people build wealth. Your 14-day challenge, Week 1. Open an investment account with a reputable company like Fidelity, Vanguard, or Schwab. Set up automatic monthly transfers from your checking account, even if it's just $25 to start. Week 2, choose one low-cost index fund or target date fund and make your first investment. Start small if you need to, but start. Reflection: is your money just sitting there, or is it actively working to create more money? Myth number 3, debt is always bad. There's dumb debt and smart debt. Learn the difference. We've been programmed to fear all debt equally, But that's like saying all knives are dangerous. Yes, a knife can hurt you, but it's also essential for cooking, building, and creating. Debt is a tool, and like any tool, it matters how you use it. The wealthy understand something most people don't. They use other people's money to build wealth faster than they ever could with just their own cash. But they're strategic about it. Dumb debt buys things that lose value. Credit card debt for vacations, car loans on rapidly depreciating vehicles, store financing for furniture and electronics. This debt makes you poorer every month. Smart debt buys assets that appreciate or generate income. Real estate investment loans, business loans that generate higher returns than the interest cost, education that significantly increases your earning power. This debt can make you wealthier over time. Let me tell you about Rachel, a nurse making $65,000 annually. Instead of saving for 10 years to buy a rental property with cash, she used smart debt. She put down 20% on a property, borrowed the rest at a low interest rate. The rental income covered the mortgage payment plus gave her monthly cash flow. Within 5 years, she used this strategy to acquire multiple properties. Her tenants paid down the mortgages while she collected cash flow and benefited from property appreciation. Without debt, Rachel could have bought maybe one property with cash after a decade of saving. With smart debt, she built a portfolio of properties that generated passive income and long-term wealth. But here's the crucial distinction. Smart debt requires cash flow. If you're borrowing money to buy something that costs you money every month, that's usually dumb debt. If you're borrowing money to buy something that pays you money every month, that might be smart debt. Credit optimization strategies. Your credit score determines your access to smart debt at good rates. The difference between a 750 credit score and a 650 score can save you tens of thousands over the life of a mortgage. Pay all bills on time, every time. Set up automatic payments to avoid any missed payments. One late payment can drop your score significantly. Keep credit card balances low. Even if you pay them off every month, high balances when the statement closes can hurt your score. Pay them down before the statement date. Keep old credit cards open even if you don't use them. The length of your credit history helps your score, so don't close accounts unless there's an annual fee you can't avoid. Business debt strategy. Smart entrepreneurs use business debt to scale faster. Instead of saving $15,000 for equipment, they get a business loan and start earning immediately. The income from the business pays off the loan while building a valuable asset. The key question, will this debt generate more income than it costs in interest? If yes, it might be smart debt. If no, it's probably dumb debt. Your 10-day debt assessment challenge, days 1 through 3. List every debt you have, amount owed, interest rate, minimum payment. Categorize each as smart debt or dumb debt. Days 4 through 6, research debt consolidation options if you have high-interest debt. Look into balance transfer cards, personal loans, or home equity options. Days 7 through 10, create a plan to either eliminate dumb debt faster or optimize smart debt for better terms. If you're debt-free, research what types of smart debt might help you build wealth faster. Reflection. When you use debt, are you digging yourself into a hole or building a foundation for wealth? Myth number 4, a job is the safest bet. Security is an illusion when you have only one income stream. The idea that jobs provide security is outdated and dangerous. Companies downsize, industries change, economies crash, and technology eliminates entire professions. When your entire financial life depends on one employer's decision, you're not secure, you're vulnerable. Jaspreet Singh reminds us, if you don't build your own dream, someone will pay you to build theirs. The pandemic proved this brutally. Millions of people who thought they had secure jobs found themselves unemployed overnight. But here's what most people don't realize. Building multiple income streams isn't just possible. It's essential for true financial security in today's economy. Think of it like having multiple legs on a table. If one breaks, the table doesn't collapse. But if all your financial weight is on one leg and it breaks, everything comes crashing down. Smart people don't just have jobs, they build income diversification. Maybe it's a side business, rental properties, dividends from investments, or royalties from creative work. The goal isn't to quit your job immediately, but to reduce your dependence on it. Let me share Mark's story. He's a software developer making $85,000 at his day job. Instead of just relying on that, he spent evenings freelancing, created online courses, teaching coding, bought a small rental property, and invested in dividend-paying stocks. If Mark loses his job tomorrow, he still has multiple income sources covering most of his expenses while he looks for new employment. No panic, no desperation, no accepting the first bad offer that comes along. Building income streams that actually work. Start with what you already know. Your job skills probably have freelance or consulting value. Your hobbies might have monetization potential. Your knowledge could become courses or content. Service-based businesses are often the easiest to start. Writing, design, consulting, tutoring, coaching. These require minimal upfront investment and can generate income quickly. Product-based businesses take more time but can scale better. Creating something once that sells repeatedly. Courses, books, apps, physical products. Investment income takes time to build but becomes truly passive. Dividends, rental income, business profits from investments you've made. The key is starting with one additional stream and building it systematically before adding others. Don't try to build 5 income streams simultaneously. You'll build 0 income streams successfully, making your job more secure while building alternatives. Even while building other income sources, make your current job as secure as possible. Become indispensable by mastering skills others in your company lack. Document your processes so you're seen as valuable, not replaceable. Build relationships across departments and levels. Often people get laid off not because they're bad at their jobs, but because nobody in decision-making positions knows their value. Stay current with industry trends and new technologies. The biggest job security threat isn't your performance, it's your relevance. Your 21-day income diversification challenge. Week 1. Inventory your skills, knowledge, and interests. Research how others have monetized similar skills. Choose one potential income stream to focus on. Week 2. Take concrete steps to launch your chosen income stream. Set up necessary accounts, create your first offering, or make your first sale. Week 3. Optimize what you've started and begin building systems for consistency. Start thinking about your second potential income stream. Reflection. If your primary income disappeared tomorrow, how long could you maintain your lifestyle with your other income sources? Myth number 5. School will teach you about money. The education system creates employees, not entrepreneurs. You spent over a decade in school, but nobody taught you how credit scores work, what compound interest means, how taxes affect your wealth, or how to start a business. That's not an accident, it's by design. The school system was built during the industrial age to create compliant workers for factories and corporations, not independent thinkers who build wealth. They teach you to follow instructions, memorize information, and accept authority, not to question systems, think creatively, or build financial independence. Alex Hormozi hits this nail on the head. Formal education makes you a living. Self-education makes you a fortune. Here's what's crazy. You can get a PhD and still not understand basic concepts like compound interest, tax optimization, or investment strategy. Meanwhile, someone who dropped out of high school but educated themselves about money can build serious wealth. The most successful people I know are voracious learners who took their financial education into their own hands. They read books, listened to podcasts, take courses, and learn from mentors who have achieved what they want to achieve. What you should have learned but didn't: basic investing principles and how compound growth works over time. The difference between assets and liabilities. How taxes affect your wealth and basic strategies to minimize them legally. How credit works and how to optimize it. Basic business principles and entrepreneurship. How money actually works in the real economy. None of this is complicated, but it's not taught because the system benefits from financially illiterate workers who spend everything they earn and stay dependent on employment. Building your own financial education. Start with foundational books about money and investing. Listen to podcasts during commutes or workouts. Follow credible financial educators on social media instead of entertainment accounts. Take online courses about topics that interest you: investing, real estate, business, taxes. Many of these are free or very affordable. Find mentors or communities of people who are building wealth. This could be online forums, local investment clubs, or business networking groups. Most importantly, apply what you learn. Knowledge without action is just entertainment. Take one thing you learn each week and implement it. The hidden curriculum of wealth. Wealthy families teach their children things that schools never cover. They teach them that money is a tool, not a goal, that building assets is more important than accumulating stuff, that delayed gratification leads to greater rewards, that taking calculated risks is necessary for significant returns. They teach them to think like investors and business owners, not just employees. They teach them that their network often determines their net worth. They teach them to understand taxes, leverage, and how money really works. You can teach yourself these same concepts, but you have to take responsibility for your own financial education. Your 30-day self-education challenge. Week 1. Choose one financial topic you know nothing about and commit to learning it. Read articles, watch videos, listen to podcasts about this topic daily. Week 2. Find one book written by someone who has achieved financial success and read it. Take notes and identify specific actions you can take. Week 3. Apply something you've learned. Open an investment account, optimize your budget, or take another concrete step based on your new knowledge. Week 4. Find one community or mentor related to your financial goals. This could be online or in person, formal or informal. Reflection. What are you actively doing to educate yourself about money and wealth building? And how is that education translating into concrete actions? Myth number 6. Money is the root of all evil. Money amplifies who you already are. This belief is wealth repellent and probably the most destructive money myth of all. If you subconsciously believe money is evil, your mind will sabotage every effort you make to build it. You'll procrastinate on investing, undercharge for your services, and feel guilty about financial success. But here's the truth. Money isn't good or evil. It's neutral. It's a tool that amplifies your existing character. When good people have money, they do good things. When bad people have money, they do bad things. The money isn't the problem. The person is. The real quote is, "The love of money is the root of all evil," meaning greed and obsession with money causes problems, not money itself. Think about it. Would you rather have wealthy people who care about others controlling resources, or wealthy people who only care about themselves? The solution isn't to avoid wealth, it's for good people to build wealth. Reframing your relationship with money. Instead of thinking money is greedy, think money is freedom. Freedom to help your family, freedom to pursue your passions, freedom to make choices based on values rather than financial desperation. Instead of rich people are selfish, think wealth creates responsibility. When you have resources, you can create jobs, support causes you believe in, and solve problems in your community. Instead of making money takes advantage of others, think creating value for others creates wealth for me. Every legitimate business success comes from solving problems or fulfilling needs for other people. Examples of money amplifying good. I know a teacher who built a real estate portfolio over 15 years. Instead of just accumulating wealth, she provides affordable housing through rent-to-own programs, funds scholarships for students, and employs people in her community. Without money, she could help a few students. With money, she helps hundreds. I know an entrepreneur who built a successful business and uses his success to pay employees above market wages, donate to environmental causes, and mentor other entrepreneurs from disadvantaged backgrounds. These people aren't evil. They're using money as a tool to create positive impact in the world. Overcoming money guilt and limiting beliefs. Notice when you have negative thoughts about money or wealthy people. Question where these beliefs came from. Were they from your family, your religion, your culture, or the media? Challenge these beliefs with evidence. Can you think of wealthy people who do good things? Can you imagine how your own life and the lives of others would improve if you had more financial resources? Connect your wealth building to your values and purpose. If you care about your family's security, that's a noble reason to build wealth. If you want to donate to causes you believe in, that requires having money to donate. If you want freedom to pursue your passions, that takes financial independence. Myth number 7, budgeting is restrictive. A budget is a plan, not a prison. Many people avoid budgeting because they think it means saying no to everything fun. But a budget is actually the opposite. It's permission to spend guilt-free because you've planned for it. Without a budget, you're like a ship without a compass, hoping you'll end up somewhere good, but probably not. The key insight most people miss: budgeting isn't about restriction, it's about intention. When you budget properly, you actually give yourself more freedom, not less. Traditional budgeting focuses on cutting expenses and saying no to everything. That creates an adversarial relationship with money where every purchase feels like failure. Smart budgeting focuses on funding your priorities first and being intentional about your choices. The freedom-based budgeting approach. Start by paying yourself first. Before any other expenses, money goes to savings and investments. This ensures your future self is taken care of before present impulses take over. Automate everything you can. Set up automatic transfers for savings, automatic payments for bills, and automatic investments. The fewer money decisions you have to make consciously, the better your results will be. Plan for joy, not just necessities. Budget for entertainment, hobbies, and even some spontaneous purchases. When you give yourself permission to spend on things you value, you're less likely to overspend on things you don't. A simple framework that actually works. Think of your after-tax income in 3 categories: needs, wants, and wealth building. Needs include housing, transportation, groceries, insurance, and minimum debt payments. This should be roughly 50% of your income, but be honest about what's actually a need versus a want. Wants include entertainment, dining out, shopping, hobbies, and travel. Budget generously for this category, around 30%, because life should be enjoyable. But be intentional about what you're spending this money on. Wealth building includes emergency fund, retirement savings, other investments, and extra debt payments. This should be at least 20% of your income, more if you can manage it. The key is being intentional about each category and not letting spending bleed from one category to another without conscious decision. Making budgeting sustainable. Track your spending for a month before trying to change anything. You need to know where your money actually goes before you can redirect it effectively. Start with your biggest expenses first. Don't stress about $5 coffee purchases if you're overspending $500 monthly on restaurants. Build in flexibility and cushions. Rigid budgets break when life happens. Allow for adjustments and unexpected expenses. Review and revise monthly. Your budget should evolve as your income, expenses, and priorities change. Tools and systems that help. Use technology to make budgeting easier. Apps like YNAB, Mint, or even simple spreadsheets can help you track and plan your spending. Consider the envelope method with separate accounts for different spending categories. This makes it harder to overspend in one area because the money literally isn't available. Set up automatic transfers and bill payments so good financial decisions happen without requiring daily willpower. Your 21-day budgeting challenge. Days 1 through 7. Track every expense without trying to change anything. Use whatever method is easiest, an app, a notebook, or your phone. Days 8 through 14. Categorize your spending and create target amounts for each category based on your income and goals. Set up automatic transfers and payments. Days 15 through 21. Live on your new budget, making daily 5-minute check-ins to stay on track. Adjust categories as needed. It's normal to need tweaks. Reflection. Are you avoiding financial planning because you fear limitation, or because you fear awareness of where your money actually goes? Myth number 8, wealth is about luck or talent. Wealth is built through systems and habits, not chance. This myth is convenient because it removes personal responsibility. If wealth is just luck, then there's nothing you can do about it. If it's just talent, then either you have it or you don't. But research shows that most millionaires are self-made, and they follow predictable patterns that anyone can learn and implement. They live below their means, they invest consistently, they educate themselves continuously, and they build systems that generate income. Luck might open doors, but discipline walks you through them. Alex Hormozi emphasizes this point. Success is not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. He also says, the difference between successful people and everyone else isn't talent or luck. It's their willingness to do boring things consistently. Most wealth isn't inherited or gifted. It's built through boring consistency. Small actions repeated over long periods create extraordinary results. The secret isn't exceptional talent or incredible luck. It's developing the right habits and sticking to them. The habits of wealth builders. They pay themselves first before any other expenses. They invest consistently regardless of market conditions. They continuously educate themselves about money and investing. They live below their means and avoid lifestyle inflation. They think long-term and delay gratification. They build multiple income streams over time. They surround themselves with other people who are building wealth. They take calculated risks when opportunities arise. None of these habits require special talent or lucky breaks. They require discipline and consistency, which anyone can develop. Systems that create wealth, automatic investing, removes emotion and timing from the equation. When money automatically flows from your paycheck to investments, you don't have to decide whether now is a good time to invest. Living below your means creates the gap between income and expenses that makes wealth building possible. This isn't about extreme frugality, it's about being intentional with spending. Continuous learning keeps you ahead of changes in technology, markets, and opportunities. Wealthy people are constantly learning and adapting. Building relationships and networks creates opportunities that might look like luck to outsiders, but are actually the result of consistent effort to connect with others. The compound effect in practice. Wealth building is like physical fitness. Small actions done consistently create dramatic results over time. But just like fitness, the results aren't visible immediately, which is why most people quit too early. The key is understanding that compound growth starts slowly and accelerates over time. The first few years of investing might feel pointless because the numbers are small, but as time passes and your investments compound, the growth becomes more dramatic. This applies to career development, business building, skill development, and relationship building too. Consistent small efforts compound into significant advantages over time. Building your wealth systems. Start with automating your savings and investments. Even if it's a small amount, consistency matters more than the initial size. Develop the habit of learning something new about money, investing, or business every day. This could be reading articles, listening to podcasts, or watching educational videos. Track your progress regularly, but don't obsess over daily fluctuations. Monthly or quarterly reviews are usually sufficient. Build relationships with other people who are building wealth. This could be through online communities, local investment clubs, or business networking groups. Your 30-day wealth system challenge. Week 1. Set up automatic transfers for savings and investments. Start with whatever amount you can afford, even if it's small. Week 2. Establish a daily learning habit. Spend 15 minutes daily consuming financial education content. Week 3. Begin tracking your progress. Calculate your net worth and set up a system to monitor it monthly. Week 4. Connect with others who share your wealth building goals. Join an online community or find a local group. Reflection. Are you waiting for luck to strike, or are you building the systems and habits that create your own opportunities? Myth number 9, it's too late for me to start. The best time to start building wealth was yesterday. The second best time is today. Age doesn't disqualify you from wealth building. Inaction does. This limiting belief has cost more people more money than any investment loss ever could. Many successful people didn't start building serious wealth until their 40s, 50s, or even later. Colonel Sanders was 65 when he started KFC. Laura Ingalls Wilder didn't publish her first Little House book until she was 65. Ray Kroc was 52 when he founded McDonald's. These weren't just business successes, they were wealth-building successes that happened later in life. Compound interest doesn't care about your age. It rewards consistency and time. Even if you start at 40, you still have 25 years until traditional retirement. That's enough time for serious wealth building if you start now and stay consistent. The math is encouraging. Someone who starts investing at 40 can still accumulate significant wealth by retirement. Someone who starts at 50 can still build a solid foundation. Even starting at 60, you can create meaningful financial security. The advantages of starting later. People in their 40s, 50s, and beyond are typically in their peak earning years. You likely earn more now than you did at 25, which means you can save larger amounts. Your expenses might be lower than when you were younger. Your mortgage might be paid off or nearly paid off. Your children might be grown and financially independent. You've already bought most of the stuff you need. You have more focus and urgency. Knowing you have less time can actually motivate better consistency. You're better at distinguishing wants from needs. You're more disciplined about delayed gratification. You have life experience that helps you avoid expensive mistakes that younger people often make. Strategies for late starters. If you have debt, eliminating it becomes even more critical when you have less time. Focus aggressively on paying off high-interest debt before investing heavily. Take advantage of catch-up contributions if you're over 50. The government allows higher contribution limits to retirement accounts for people over 50, recognizing that they need to save more aggressively. Consider working a few years longer than originally planned if your health permits. Even 2 or 3 extra years of earning and saving can significantly impact your retirement security. Use your experience and skills to create additional income streams. Consulting, teaching, or part-time work in your area of expertise can supplement your savings efforts. Age-appropriate investment strategies. You still need growth in your investments, even if you're older. With people living longer, your money needs to last decades in retirement. A portfolio that's too conservative might not keep up with inflation. The old rule of holding your age in bonds is outdated. A 60-year-old might still want 60 to 70% of their portfolio in stocks for growth, especially in the early retirement years. Focus on income-producing investments as you get closer to retirement. Dividend-paying stocks, real estate investment trusts, and bonds can provide steady income streams. Plan your withdrawal strategy carefully. The order in which you withdraw from different accounts can significantly impact how long your money lasts. Overcoming late starter psychology. Don't waste mental energy on regret about not starting earlier. That energy is better spent on taking action now. Every day you delay makes the challenge harder. Start with whatever amount you can invest, even if it feels small. The habit of investing is more important initially than the amount you're investing. Focus on progress, not perfection. Some wealth building is infinitely better than no wealth building. Consider working with a financial advisor who can help create a realistic plan for your specific situation and timeline. Your 60-day late starter action plan, days 1 through 14. Calculate exactly what you'll need for retirement and determine your current financial position. Identify the gap between where you are and where you need to be. Days 15 through 30. Eliminate or consolidate high-interest debt. Set up automatic savings and investment transfers. Optimize your investment allocation for your age and timeline. Days 31 through 45. Look for ways to increase your income through side work, consulting, or part-time employment. Reduce expenses that don't align with your values or retirement goals. Days 46 through 60. Create accountability measures and tracking systems. Plan for catch-up contributions and other age-specific strategies. Consider working with a financial professional for guidance. Reflection. What's really stopping you from building wealth? Your age and circumstances, or your excuses and limiting beliefs? Let's recap the 9 money myths that have been keeping you broke. First, income isn't wealth. What you keep and invest matters more than what you make. Second, saving alone won't make you rich. You need to invest for growth. Third, not all debt is bad. Smart debt can accelerate wealth building. Fourth, jobs aren't truly secure. Multiple income streams provide real security. Fifth, schools don't teach financial literacy. You must educate yourself. Sixth, money isn't evil. It's a tool that amplifies your character. Seventh, budgeting isn't restrictive. It's liberating when done right. Eighth, wealth isn't about luck. It's about consistent systems and habits. And finally, it's never too late to start building wealth. The key is starting now, wherever you are. Here's what I want you to understand. The world doesn't benefit from you staying broke. In fact, some systems profit from your financial confusion and fear. The credit card companies want you to carry balances. The consumer culture wants you to buy things you can't afford. The status quo wants you to believe that wealth building is too complicated or risky for regular people. But you're not regular people. You're someone who seeks knowledge, who questions assumptions, who wants to build a better life. The information you need is available. The tools you need are accessible. The time you have is right now. Your wealth journey doesn't start when you get the perfect job, or when the market is just right, or when you have more time. It starts the moment you stop believing the lies and start implementing the truth. The choice is yours. Stay comfortable with the myths, or get uncomfortable with the reality of building wealth. One keeps you where you are. The other transforms your life. What will you choose?